All right, everybody. Hello. We are here for a few minutes of stretching, and then we're going to get into flow. So you're welcome to do just the first part or the second part. You can do whatever it is that you want here today. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to come all the way down onto our backs to get going with our stretch session. I'm really glad you decided to join me, and let's appreciate this moment as we get ourselves settled in all the way onto the floor with the knees bent and the feet on the ground and the arms out away from the shoulders. We pause here to breathe fully and smoothly in and out through the nose. Belly rising as we breathe in and belly falling as we breathe out. Feeling muscles relaxing. And if you haven't already done so, move your feet out to the edges of the mat and begin to gently move your knees from side to side, getting that rhythmic motion going for the hips and the low back. Finishing that last one. And back to center. Stretch your left leg out along the mat. Wrap the hands around the right knee. Pull the knee toward the shoulder. And then begin to straighten the right leg. As you do so, slip the hand underneath the knee and just lengthen into that leg any amount. It may not go all the way straight just yet or at all. And then we repeat, bend the knee, bring the hands over the top of the knee if you can, or you can keep the hands under the knee if that feels better. Just pull the knee toward the shoulder. And then when you're ready, once again, straighten into the leg. Pull the toes down and keep repeating. Hands around the knee, pull toward the shoulder. And straighten the leg, feel the stretch, pull the toes down. Let's do this same pattern a couple more times. Once you finish that last one, let your foot come back onto the ground. Straighten out your right leg, bend up the left leg, hands around the left knee, pull it in toward the left shoulder. When you're ready, straighten into the leg, adjust your hand hold, pull the toes down, feel the stretch in the back of your leg. And then start to flow through those two positions, knee to the shoulder, and then extending the leg up. And finish one more time all the way through. Once you finish that last one, straighten out your leg. Sweep your arms behind your head. Lengthen, stretch, and reach. Point the toes forward. Contract your leg muscles. Pull the belly in and reach in both directions. Bend up your knees, wrap the arms around the legs, and squeeze in. Place one hand onto each knee. We're going to be moving the legs into what I refer to as a churning pattern. I don't know if that word makes sense or not, but for me, that word works. What this means is that we move the legs around, the two legs in opposite direction circles and at opposite timing. So one leg comes forward while the other one goes back, and you're doing a circle. And if that doesn't make any sense at all, which it might not, just move your legs around. Bottom line, start to get some nice movement. The reason I recommend this churning pattern, though, is I feel, at least in my body, that it requires a little more dynamic movement in the hip joints than if you're just simply circling the legs, keeping the knees together. Now, the trickiest part of all is see if you can reverse the direction of that churning motion. All right. Release your feet back down onto the ground. The knees still bent. Breath in and breath out. Keeping everything slow and steady. Bend up the legs, wrap the hands around the knees and pull in. In this position, if your knees are all the way together, fine. If your knees need to be apart, that's okay too. Either way, push your knees in the direction of midline. So whether the knees are still apart or not, just see if you can get the knees to come in a little closer toward each other. And then from here, extend both feet up toward the ceiling. Hold on to the backs of your legs. Pull your toes down. So we've been here before with single leg. Now we're doing double. We'll see if we can really feel that stretch to the backs of the legs. Begin to slowly make ankle circles. And as you do this, remember that we're holding the shins relatively still as best as you can to isolate the movement in the feet. Reverse the direction. Make your circles as big as possible. And then hold your feet in place. Keep your legs where they are. Bring the arms onto the ground away from the shoulders. Now you have a couple of options here. If your core is a little stronger, you can try lowering the legs with the legs completely straight. If your core isn't quite as developed, then you're going to want to bend the knees here. Either way, slowly start to descend your legs down to the ground in a 3 count. 3, 2, and 1, all the way down. Once you've landed, legs on the ground, sweep the arms back behind the head, full body stretch. Bend up the knees, wrap the arms around the legs, and squeeze in. Bring your feet onto the ground with your knees bent. Bring your right foot up on top of the left knee. Once you have this, you have a couple of options. Some of you might want to simply put your right hand on the inside of the right knee and push the right knee forward. For some of you, that's a nice little stretch. You'll feel this in the hip. Others of you, this does not do a whole lot for you. And if that's the case, lift the left foot off the ground and see if you can get your legs to pull in towards your body. So you have a couple of options. One more long, deep breath. And then release and lower your feet back to the mat. Switch sides, left foot up onto the right knee. Your options, left hand just gently pushes the left knee forward, or lift the right foot off the ground, wrap your hands around the right knee. One more long breath. And then release, lower back down. We're going to repeat that. So bring the right foot up again. Once again, you have the same options. You can simply push the right knee forward. Or here's another option. You can keep the left foot on the ground and just grab your hands around the right foot and the right knee and pull the leg in towards your body. Make sure your inside of your right knee does not hurt when you do that. Flexing the right foot might help. So now you have three options to consider. Find one that works for you and let's hold it for 3 breaths. Good. Take your time, release. Switch sides. Last one, left foot up onto the right knee. Your three options. Left hand pushes the left knee forward, or right foot lifts off the ground, or right foot stays on the ground and you're just pulling your left leg only into your body. And we're breathing slow and steady for 3 more breaths. And then release and let those feet come back down onto the ground. Walk your feet close together. Open your knees out. And the soles of the feet come against each other into butterfly position. So knees wide, feet together. Arms reach out directly away from the shoulders with the palms facing up. This is option one for your arms. If you have any shoulder difficulty, this might be the place to stay. If the shoulders have decent mobility, then you might be able to bend the elbows and start to reach the arms more behind the head. But don't do it so much that your elbows or your wrist come away from the ground. I want shoulders, elbows, hands all the way on the ground. So adjust as you need to. Maybe pull the arms a little closer to the ribs. Now, whatever position you've chosen, draw the shoulder blades down the back. And then relax into this passive stretch. 3 breaths. Push the soles of the feet against each other. Then draw your knees slowly back together. Then release the arms, wrap the hands around the knees and squeeze in. All right, everybody, fantastic. Rock yourself up and swing your legs behind. Come into tabletop. Once you're in your tabletop, widen the knees, slowly circle the hips. One of my favorite moves, as you know, getting that rounding and arcing of the low back while you make the circles. And now reverse the direction. And release back to center. Walk the knees in close. Reach the right leg back. Toes on the ground. Push back into calf stretch. Use strong hands and arms to push back so you feel a full stretch all the way from the heel of your right leg, your right foot, your Right heel all the way up to the calf muscle. Keep pushing back. One more breath. And then release. Knee back in, left leg back, toes on the ground, push back. Make sure your heel is the farthest point in your body, releasing back. Sometimes I see people that don't really have the heel releasing back. That's the only way to get a stretch, is to let the heel reach back. So you're pushing back. Not only are you using your hands to push your weight back, but you're also feeling like you're literally taking the heel and pushing it toward the back wall. One more breath. And then release, bring that knee back in. Move your knees to hip width apart. Raise the hands off the ground, upright kneeling position. Shake out the wrist. And then raise the hands up overhead. You can always bend the elbows if need be. We're going to pull the belly in, lengthen through the spine, look up toward the hands. Get a full length. Feel like you're starting to open and lengthen through the spine. Lean back any amount. Squeeze the glutes tighter. Pull the belly in a little tighter. Look forward. Swing the arms behind the back. Either tuck the chin and lower down partially, or bring the crown of the head all the way to the ground. Then power yourself up. Reach up, arms up overhead. Arc the spine, lean back. Swing the arms behind, lower down. Keep going. Twice more through. Full extension. And then as you come down, full flexion. Last one. And then release. And when you're all done with that last one, bring your hands down onto the ground, back into tabletop position. Curl the toes under. Grip the floor strong with your hands. Lift your knees up and push back into downward facing dog. Pedal the legs, bend, straighten, bend, straighten. One last time to feel a good stretch here. And then if you need to, you can bring your knees back to the ground. Or if you're able to, you just walk your feet forward, do whatever you need to until you're onto your feet into a standing position. You have your option here. You can bring your elbows onto the knees for support while you're in a forward fold. Or if your spine feels okay, just drop the hands down and completely lean down into the stretch. So you might need some support here of your elbows on your knees. No problem. Otherwise, your head is hanging, your arms are hanging. One long breath. And then from here, take your time and lift yourself all the way up to standing. Reach the arms up overhead. Lower just the arms down and roll out the shoulders. All right, everybody. Fantastic. That was our stretch session. If that was all you wanted to do today, good job. You're all done. If you want to move on to flow, let's get right into it. We'll start slow. If you're just joining us, that's perfectly fine. Let's keep going. So come on up to the front of your mat. And once again, roll the shoulders. And then as you're rolling the shoulders, start to move the head and neck around. Find your freedom of movement in your shoulders, in your trap muscles. That's the muscles on the top of the shoulder, between the shoulder and the neck. Move your neck around. Reverse the direction. Be as free as you can in this movement. And then come on back to your center position and establish your tall posture. You're looking straight ahead. The shoulders have pulled back. The arms are right next to your sides. Full inhale of the breath and an exhale of the breath. Next inhale, reach the hands up high and take a look up to the hands. Full stretch. Feel like you're opening up and lengthening your ribs. Look forward and lower down into forward fold. Bring the hands down to the shins or the ankles or even down onto the ground. And then start to look up halfway. Bring your hands onto the upper shins right below the knees. And see if you can start to flatten out your back. So you're going to do that by lifting the sternum, but tucking the chin, and pull your belly in. Your body is in a perfect L shape. Now feel your hands as they slide down your legs. Feel your hands on your skin of your legs or your clothing. Drop your head. And then look up and come all the way to standing. Reach the arms up high. Palms face each other. This time look straight ahead, but do lengthen out through the spine. Begin to take side bend, leaning over to the right. You're going to feel your hips shifting to the left a little. Now squeeze your legs, contract your glutes, pull your belly in, and lean a little deeper to the right. Then rise up, re-lengthen the spine, side bend over to the left. Your hips move a little to the right, and then really reach over into the left side bend. And then back to center. Release the hands down to the ground into forward fold. Slide the hands to the upper shins, look up. That's our half lift. L shape. Forward fold back down. Come all the way to standing, reach up high. Lower just the arms down. Feel some heat coming into the body. We're going to walk the feet relatively close together within an inch or two. And then lift your right heel off the ground. Your toes stay on the ground for a moment. Start to contract the muscles of your left leg. So we're establishing single leg balance here. Contract the left side. When you're ready, lift the right foot up off the ground. Single leg balance. Try to lift the knee a little higher. Now slowly swing the right leg behind. Let the foot come onto the ground into lunge pose. Once the foot's touched the ground, step back a little further, like maybe a half inch, and bend deeper into the front leg. Now straighten the legs and bend. Straighten and bend. One more time. Now bend the front knee, straighten the back leg as best as you can. It might still be a little bit bent, but you're trying to move the back leg towards straight. Send the hands up overhead. Pull the belly in and look forward, or see if you can start to look up to the hands, getting this nice opening through the spine. And then slowly lower the hands, lean over the front leg. Your hands will point to the back wall as you lean your chest over the front leg. When you're ready, step all the way up to the front of the mat. Back to our start position. Breath in and breath out. Slow and steady. Feet are close together. Left foot, lift the heel off the ground only. Establish the strength in your support side. So we're always establishing the support leg first. Then lift the left foot off the ground. Pull the belly in. Take your time. Slowly swing the left leg behind. Let the foot land on the ground. Lunge pose. Once the foot lands, step back another half inch if you can. Bend the front leg. Straighten the back leg. Then begin our movement, bending the front leg and straightening. Bending and straightening. Last one. and bend into the front knee, pull the belly in a little tighter, straighten the back leg a little more, raise the arms up overhead. See if you can kind of arc the spine. We're really starting to open up through the back. Find your balance. Look forward or maybe look up, breathe. And then swing the arms behind so the fingers are pointing toward the back wall. You're going to lean over the front leg, feel the burn in that front leg. And now, if you need to, you take several steps to return back up to the front of the mat. Breath in and breath out. Keep moving. Inhale, reach up high. Arc the spine, stretch it out. Lower down, forward fold. This time, bring your hands onto the ground, step the right foot back, and lower the back knee onto the ground. We're going to plant the right hand on the ground, or you could put your hand up on a yoga block if you like. Lift the left hand onto the left hip and turn to the left into a rotation. Now, of course, you can always adjust as we go here. Let's try to bend into that front leg. You might have to walk the back knee back another ½ inch. Stay here or lift the back knee off the ground. Look to the left. Raise the left hand toward the ceiling. Breathe. One more deep inhale. And exhale. Lower the hand down to the ground. Look up and take several steps if you need to step back up to the front of the mat. Come all the way to standing. Reach up high. Lower the arms down. Now feel the heat in your body. Feel the sensations of your body. Feel that your body is beginning to loosen and to become more receptive to our movements. Inhale, reach up high. Arc the spine, full stretch. Lower down, forward fold. Bring your fingers down onto the ground or a block. Step the left foot back. Lower the back knee to the ground. And left hand plants on the ground or it is on your yoga block. Bring the right hand to the right hip and then start to bend deeper into the front leg. You might want to step the back knee back another ½ inch. When you're ready, option to lift the back knee off the ground, rotate to the right, raise the right arm up. Breathe. And lower the arm down. Bring the hand to the ground. Look up and step up to the front of the mat. Come all the way to standing, reach up high. And lower just the arms down. Breath in and breath out. Excellent, everybody. Turn to face along the side of your mat into a straddle position. So good, so strong, so good to move our bodies. Reach the hands up high. Lower the hands down onto the sides of your legs and take a forward fold. Reach the hands down, feel the stretch. Rise back up. Reach the arms up high. This time, lower the arms halfway down only and turn the right foot. You might have to adjust your feet in just a little. Turn the right foot. Lean over the right leg with the right leg still straight. Place the right hand on the shin, the left hand up toward the ceiling, triangle stretch. You can look down or you can look up toward the ceiling. Now power yourself up, square the foot, and switch sides. Left foot turns, lean, place the hands. Look down or see if you can look up to the hand. Power yourself up, square the foot. We're back to our square foot position, hands onto the sides of the legs. We're going to repeat. Reach the hands down the legs, forward fold. Rise up, reach the hands up high. Lower the arms halfway down, right foot turns. Lean, place the hands. Power yourself up, Switch sides. Power it up. Square the foot. We're doing it one more time. I'll lightly coach you through it. You probably remember what to do, but I'll lightly coach you through. Lower the hands to the legs, forward fold. Rise up, arms halfway down. Right foot turns, triangle stretch. Rise up and switch sides. Square the foot and raise the arms up overhead. Lower the arms down and heel toe the feet in. Feet together, arms by your sides, breath in and a breath out. All right, everybody, nicely done. Put a slight bend in both knees. On this one, you can always go to the wall if you need that extra support. We're going to be balancing. Lift your right foot up off the ground and see if you can bring your right foot onto the left knee. If the foot doesn't come up to the knee, then you have your foot below the knee like I've done here. Otherwise, try to get the foot to hook up onto the top of the knee. And then your hands come down onto the knee and onto the ankle. And we sit down until we feel a stretch. So the balance is challenging. That's why you might need to hold on to something. Sit down, feel the stretch. Now, very slowly, bring the hands up onto the heart and stand up without the foot touching the ground. Release the foot. And then the foot comes to the ground. Now, that may have worked out and it may not have. So do what you can. Doesn't matter if the foot touches down early. We'll give it a try to the other side. Left foot, or both knees bend, and the left foot comes up. Either foot below the knee if you need to, or the foot comes above the knee. When you're ready, take your time, hands to the heart, lift up, see if you can get the foot to come off of the knee, and then control it down. Arms by your sides, breath in, and breath out. Now we'll repeat that. We know where we're going this time. Hopefully we've got those muscles warmed up a little bit, but this time you're going to come into the figure four, which is the foot on the knee. Then we step back into lunge pose. So that's what's going to be coming up here. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So we'll start again with the right foot up onto the left knee. When you're ready, bring your hands up onto your heart. Lift the foot off the knee and swing the leg behind into lunge pose. Once the foot lands, release the hands up overhead into crescent lunge. Lower the hands. Now, see if you can backtrack. So you might have to take a couple steps to come forward. Try to get the right foot to come back onto the left knee. Sit down into the stretch. And then when you're ready, release the foot to the ground. Other side, take your time, go slow. Bend both knees. Left foot comes up onto the right knee. Sit down into the stretch. When you're ready, the hands come up. The left leg swings behind. Lower the foot slowly to the ground. Once the foot lands, you might step back a little further, bend into the front leg, raise the hands up, crescent lunge. When you're ready, the hands come down. We step it up, try to get your left foot to come back onto the right knee. Lower down into a stretch. And release, foot to the ground. Reach the hands up high and lower the arms down. Okay, we know where we're going there. It's a fun but challenging sequence. Now that we know where we're going, let's do it one more time. Here we go. We'll smooth our way through it. Both knees bend, right foot lifts onto the left knee. Sit down into the stretch. When you're ready, lift up and swing the right leg back. Crescent lunge, arms up high. Lower the arms, lean forward, step up, right foot back to the left knee. Once you've completed it, right foot back to the ground. Last time here, smooth it out, make sure you're breathing, left foot up. Sit down into the stretch, and then left leg swings behind, lunge pose. Arms up high, crescent lunge. Lean forward, left foot to right knee. When you're ready, release the foot to the ground. Breath in and breath out. All right, nicely done. Let's give ourselves a breath. Challenging sequence there. Give yourself a smile. Inhale and exhale. Good. Reach the hands up high. Stretch it out. Lower the arms down. Let's return back to the front of the mat if you're not already there. And hands come up high. Lower down, forward fold. And then hands to the ground or hands to the block. Step your feet back into lunge pose. Any way you can get there, get into lunge. Into plank. Knees up or knees down. We're holding 3, 2, and 1. Lower your body all the way to the ground. Once you've landed, check to see that your hands are by the mid ribs, not under the shoulders. You might have to scoot them back a couple of inches. Tuck your chin. Rest your forehead on the mat. Inhale, press to cobra. Your chest lifts off the ground, but not your thighs. Elbows are still bent. Lower back down. Again, rise up. Lower down. 3 more of those. And release all the way down. Now, push up and back into child's pose. Hips to heels. Relax your arms in, bend your elbows, let your forehead come down to the mat, or you can slip your hands under your forehead. And then release. Come on up. Swing your legs, come to seated position. Swing your legs out in front. Place your hands onto your shins. Point your toes forward. Round your spine, tuck your chin. Take a 5 count to lower down. So this is very slow. You can use your elbows if you need to. Keep going slow. Try to go slow. Try to go slow. Finally, all the way down. Arms reach behind the head, stretch. Bend up your knees, wrap the arms around the legs, and squeeze in. Place one hand onto each knee. Move the knees wide apart. Now lift your feet up above the knees with your knees still bent, and your hands could be behind the knees, or the hands could slide up to the shins, or you might be able to grab a hold of the feet if you're extra bendy. At any rate, whatever position your hands are in, your knees are bending, and you're trying to pull your legs toward the ground. Happy baby stretch. Now push the knees wider if you can, and settle into the stretch. Stay with it another couple of breaths. And when you're ready, release that hand hold. Straighten out your legs. Bend up the right leg. Use your left hand to take the knee across the body into the twist. Now, as you probably remember, I always like to set the hips here. So let's kind of start over, if you like, by bumping the hips to the right. So you're going to have to start from the beginning. Bump the hips right. Now you're ready to twist to the left. That is a great little adjustment just to get the hips in a better position for the stretch. Now reach the right arm directly away from the shoulder. You might get a pec stretch there. You can turn your head toward the right if you like. Finishing one long last deep breath. Releasing out of the twist. Recenter the hips. Bump your hips left. Take your left leg across to the right. Finishing one long last deep breath. Take your time, roll out of the twist. Recenter your hips. Breath in. Breath out. All right, take your time, roll yourself up. All right, everybody. Well, we are all done today with our stretch and with our flow. Really glad you joined me today. I'll look forward to seeing you again next time and hope you feel great and have a great rest of your day. Bye for now.